Welcome back to Switch South Africa. I'm Nicky Nash as always, and this time around I'm inside the flagship model for Mazda, and this is the Mazda CX-60. So there's a lot to speak about this vehicle, and I'm going to cover every single thing that you guys need to know about this car, from the exterior design of the vehicle, interior design of the vehicle, and most importantly the drive, because there's actually something that I do not like about this car when it comes to the drive. By this time you've seen this video, I'm sure you guys already know what that is, and it has to be the engine, but we'll speak more about that when it's time for the driving impressions of the vehicle. So speaking about the exterior look of the vehicle, from the outside, the car looks beautiful. I personally do like the car. I like it from the rear end of the vehicle. It's a very nice design, and being as big as the vehicle is, it looks beautiful. The front is not a bad looking car in front. It looks good. For me, it's just a bit awkward way there's that daytime running LED lights that's going, it seems like it's going inside the grille. It's just, for me, it doesn't work like that, but for other people it might work. So I'm not really a fan of that. Side profile of the vehicle looks beautiful. It's sitting on these 20-inch alloy wheels, and those wheels look good for this vehicle. They work the part, they get the job done. Now moving into the interior of the vehicle, that's where you can tell that it's a Mazda. They have not done too much. They've just basically taken what has been in like a Mazda 3 and made it bigger. So jumping into the vehicle, you can tell that this is a Mazda. I had a Mazda 3 on test last year, and when I got into this vehicle, I can tell it's a Mazda 3, just bigger. So you're greeted by this leather wrap steering wheel, which has buttons on it. It's a multifunctional steering wheel. It has buttons, no haptic feedback buttons or anything like that. It's actual buttons. Then you get a 12-inch digital instrument cluster, an infotainment system which is not touchscreen, and it's kind of when you're used to cars that have a touchscreen infotainment system, it takes some time for you to get used to it. So I'm used to cars that the infotainment system is touchscreen, so I find myself having to pressing the screen and then nothing happens. I'm like, what's going on? Then I have to remember, oh, by the way, this is not touchscreen. So for certain people it might be a problem. For me, it's a get used to it type of thing. So because it's not touchscreen, you use the swivel wheel that's down here to control everything that's there, and at times that might just be a problem because you just want to get to that part where you're seeing very quickly. So that's one of the disadvantages for me in terms of the interior of the vehicle. But everywhere else with regards to the interior, Mazda did well. They gave you a climate control down below, and it's actual buttons, no haptic feedback buttons. The infotainment system is not found in the infotainment system. It's right here with buttons. But right there where the infotainment system is, there's a lot of buttons missing. And you know what those buttons are for? Well, because this is not the top of the range vehicle. This is the dynamic. There's the individual. So some buttons they will be filled, but not all buttons. Those two will be blank buttons, like heated seats and ventilated seats. Mazda does not do heated seats. There is no Mazda vehicle in South Africa, keyword in South Africa, that has heated seats. And it's something that I do not get why, because I'm paying so much money. Mazda just bring the heated seats, and it's something that I've heard people complain about. I've heard Mazda owners complain about. My uncle has a Mazda. That's his number one thing that he complains about, is why doesn't his car have heated seats? Why don't Mazdas have heated seats? The other thing he tends to complain about is something that I don't like, which is regards to the engine. But before we go to that part about the engine, I need to tell you about the fit and finish of the vehicle inside. The seats are quite good. They feel amazing. The touch in terms of the dashboard, the door on the door sides here, where you have your switches for the windows, it's amazing. It's fit and finish. Mazda did the most, so it feels good in terms of interior. Seats is okay. You get this big glide sliding panoramic sunroof. It's big when it's closed. When you open the sunroof, that's when it becomes very small and very, for me, I don't like it. It's not how a panoramic sunroof needs to look. You should be seeing overplay videos now on how those one looks. I'm not a fan of that. Now going on to the drive of the vehicle, I need to tell you about the engine. So if you don't know already, this car is powered by a naturally aspirated 2.5 liter 4-cylinder. You heard right. And kilowatts, you're looking at 141 kilowatts and 261 newton meters of torque, and something so big. Obviously, that engine will be dying for this vehicle because, how can I put it? There's a lack of power, but there is power. Power, obviously, when you on highway and you get to the speed that you want to get to, it will get to those speeds. Those legal speeds you're thinking of, it will get there eventually. So I've heard, eventually. But it's not good for the vehicle. It takes a strain of the vehicle. It feels like you're forcing the vehicle to get to like 120. So from where I am now, I'm doing 20, right? Put my foot down. 30, 40, 50, 60. Like, I am asking so much from the vehicle, and then it makes all this noise. becomes so dramatic just for you to get to what, like 60. I'm gonna do it again. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Makes so much noise, and for me, I don't like that, because in something so big I should be effortlessly going to those speeds. I shouldn't have to go foot flat. Those two pulls I just did there, I was foot flat, and I honestly feel for something this big, I need to, for lack of a better term, I need to waft to that speed. If I'm going to 60, 100, it mustn't feel like a strain. It mustn't feel like I'm forcing those cars to get to that speed, and that's this car's biggest disadvantage. It's a complaint that as Mazda owners and car reviewers in South Africa we have complained about, and potential customers have complained about, and Mazda South Africa said, you know what, we heard your cries, and we're gonna bring the 3.3 liter 3.3 liter 6-cylinder hybrid engine. It's gonna produce around 180 something kilowatts. Not too sure about that. They're gonna bring it, and for me, it's why didn't you come with that engine in the first place? Because now, you know what's going to happen. They're going to come with that engine. Those cars are already around 700,000 rand starting. Top of the range is 850. They're going to bring that engine. If they're going to bring that engine and keep this engine in rotation, or in the lineup, yes, in the lineup, that means that that 6-cylinder hybrid that's going to come is going to be 900,000 rand to 1 million rand. And already pricing wise, you're fetching. There's people in South Africa that will be like, no ways I'm going to spend 1 million rand on a Mazda. It's how South Africans think. They do that with other brands. They're doing that with brands like Hyundai, all of the stuff. When the Hyundai is 1 million rand, or Kia, for example, like I had the Kia Sorento, comments were saying, I won't spend 1 million rand on a Kia. So I believe if Hyundai come with that car and price it close to 1 million rand, or if not 1 million rand, people are going to be like, I am not going to pay 1 million rand for a Mazda. So the mistake with Mazda was coming with this engine in the first place. They should have came with that 6-cylinder straight from immediately. And why they didn't, I don't know what they were hoping to achieve with this natural aspirated 2.5 liter engine. I have no idea. But I don't work at Mazda. They surely have their own marketing plan. But I personally think it was a mistake, because it puts those cars in a very awkward position. The only engine, personally, that works in all the Mazda cars is that 2.2 liter turbo diesel engine found in the top of the range Mazda CX-5. And if they came with that engine and put it, obviously just bump it up a bit, or sometimes you don't even have to bump it up. If they came with that engine here and also give the 6-cylinder, it would have been so much better, because you'd have two options and price both of them like 700,000 rand and say 800,000 rand. Keep it at that. So that's another, pricing is a whole new thing. So when I speak about, this is tell you about the cost of ownership, and I'm going to speak about the pricing as well. So the one I am in, it's 740,000 rand, brand new, right? Then this is the dynamic. There's an individual that's priced at 840,000 rand. And the differences from this one and that one is literally just features. It's not like you get bigger exterior wheels, you get these nice LEDs, the car does 1, 2, 3, you get more power. No, it's just features. So for example, because I'm in this one, I'll tell you what this doesn't have that one has. I think that one should have black roof lining, 1. 2, the top of the range is the individual. I'm going to say individual, this is the dynamic. The individual comes with a Bose sound system, this one doesn't. The individual comes with a 360 view surround camera, this one doesn't, just come with a reverse camera. The individual comes with adaptive cruise control, this doesn't. This comes with normal cruise control. The individual comes with blind spot monitoring, this one doesn't. And a few other features. Those are the type of features that the individual has over this one. Not features as if you get 22-inch wheels, you get rear wheel steering, you get more power, you get a different engine. So a lot of people, if you are going to buy this vehicle, I feel like a lot of people are be like, do I really need those features? I'll just get this one, right? And here's the thing, if you want to buy this vehicle, I will tell you, don't buy it new. Buy it secondhand. So demo vehicles of this vehicle, if you go on the Change Cars website, you can literally find a car that has less than 10,000 kilometers, meaning it hasn't even been to its first service, going for 50,000 rand cheaper than those car new. So depreciation is hitting those cars very much, and it's something that, why it's happening, I have no idea. I've been looking around. Even if you go for the top of the range, that's priced at 844,500 rand new, you can get it for around 780,000 rand. That's close to 60,000 rand depreciation. So if you're buying this Mazda, buy it second hand, don't buy it new. Time to speak about cost of ownership for this one I'm in, brand new, right? If you buy this one brand new, at its current listing price at 740,000 rand launch price. Over a period of 5 years, interest rate 12.25%, no deposit, you're looking at paying 16,555 rand. That is a lot of money for this vehicle, and I personally would tell you, look elsewhere. Just because of that one problem, the engine. Look elsewhere. If it had a better engine, I'll tell you go ahead and buy it. But that's just my thoughts. If you really do like the car, I say go and test drive it. If you feel like the engine is perfect for you, then stay with it and buy the vehicle. Comment down below what you think about the car, if you would buy it, if you would not buy it, what you'd like to know about the car that I may not covered, and we'll take it from there. So I'm Nicky Nash from CX South Africa. I'll see you in the next one. CX South Africa, in part association with Change Cars. Change Cars is a trusted online website because they work with trusted dealers and the best insurer in South Africa, Discovery Insure.